Loki has corrupted it. You must find a way to break Loki's connection to it.
Us? What are you gonna do?
I am going to have a word with my brother.
Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that I have plots, analysis, and character bios for this issue. We are almost done with Walter Simonson's run. 2 issues left, including this one. So this is the penultimate chapter in Walter Simonson's run with this amazing cover featuring the Destroyer as Thor. Oh, walking all over the Frost Giants. Beautiful, 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 beautiful cover. I love me some Walter Simonson. So, I'm going to cover 2 issues, sort of. Not really, but sort of. Just because something's going on at the same time as this. So I'm going to sort of cover that. So we are going to start with the Frost Giants. They have just seen that the World Serpent beat Thor. So now they want to, have their revenge. The old Shelle game. Walter Simonson draws, Sal Buscema pencils. The inking is by Joe Sinnott. And, of course, exquisite lettering by John Workman. So Joe Sinnott, rest in peace, by the way, is known for a very detailed but very thick brush. Just good stuff here. Now, real quick before I move on, I do have a playlist that began with Walter Simonson's very first issue, the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill in Thor 337. So check it out if you want to see everything from the very beginning. And so they see this fire, and this guy says it has to be Hela's doing, but it isn't. And it says, see Mephisto number 4. Now we're actually gonna see that issue real quick because there's something to talk about here. So during this issue, the soul of Thor is taken by Mephisto. So this issue of Mephisto number 4, in this case, is versus the Avengers. So Mephisto fought the Fantastic Four in issue number 1, X-Factor in issue number 2, the X-Men in issue number 3, and now the Avengers in issue number 4. This limited series was written by Al Milgrom, penciled by John Buscema, who is the brother of Sal Buscema, rest in peace, John, and inked by Bob Wiacek. So we're going to see here that Mephisto is going to grab a very dead-like Thor here. So he wants the soul of Thor here. So beautiful. This is just exquisitely done. John Buscema was a master here. So they're narrating everything that's happened. Feel free to check it out in the fan site. I'm sure I think Comics Explained covers this story. If you really want to see what's happening, check out Comic Explained. He's got a gazillion followers and does really cool videos. So he does have Mephisto versus all 4 issues into one 30-minute video. So what we are going to see here is we see Hela, and we see, I don't know, the juror or something. I forgot this guy's name. Anyway, so Mephisto wants the soul of Thor. And this guy tells him, this judge, that, hey, be careful what you wish for. And so he still has Rogue kind of helping him unwittingly from the previous issue. So he's going to go to see where Thor fell. And of course it says here, as seen in Thor 380. And so he's you see Thor kind of waking up. And I'm covering this again because it's taking place. What you're gonna see here is gonna take place during this here. So he's like, hey, I'll make everything good. I just need your soul. Meanwhile, we've got the Avengers who show up here. Again, I'm not concerning myself with any of this because I'm not covering this particular story. And Hela's like, you can't have them. And Mephisto is like, yes, I can. And so you're going to see how he is going to grab Thor's soul, which is very important to our issue here. So you can see here the soul, like Thor's is coming out of this. So, and he takes it. So, and then he gets rid of Rogue and returns her here. So this was his prize. And again, yada yada yada, because I'm not concerning myself, but we're basically gonna have a big fight here. And Hela's like, crap, I really want Thor. And Captain America is in there, and then they try to take out the helmet, but of course his soul is not in there, and they're like, oh my god, he's dead. And they're like, you'll be avenged. Of course he's not dead, but they don't know that. So they're of course gonna start fighting Mephisto. And you see Hela there trying to take Thor because she wants him. She's got a hard on for him. She wants vengeance for the events, some of the events. Again, I have a playlist here. And so here you see that it's like they're gonna cook him. And so make him like king of hell. Why be king of hell? Because, and look at this, I shall possess you. So he's gonna eat him here. And so, as I mentioned, all this is gonna be happening, and then he returns now to his body, which will be sort of important at the end of our issue here. And there it is. So, all right. So we're gonna now go back to our story here. So, all right. So now you know what's happening in that. So we're gonna go back here. Here we see some oh my gosh, newscasters or whatever trying to take live shots here. And so they decide, hey, let's go through this barrier. And this guy here, they're like, oh my god, it's fires that'll destroy us. And he goes, cowards, this is no ordinary flame, but some kind of mystic barrier, and no such barrier can restrain the sons of Ymir. And he says, when Loki restored us to our size, he increased our icy power beyond reckoning. And so they go through, and so did everybody else. And so now they see that battle. That battle that kind of showed you as they're fighting Mephisto. And they're like, it's vanished. Was it an illusion? So everything's kind of happening at because it's in a different thing. It's sort of happening. And of course it tells us in there to go check out the other issues there. And so here we see the Avengers kind of fallen with everyone else here. And they pick up Thor because Thor is who they want here. Now, the reason it's black is because he is soulless. He cannot move. His body is in there, but just can't move. And now they're going to just beat the crap out of it. So he is going to cover it up here. For your cloak and yours alone has become the final fetter that will bind Thor forever to the giant's will. And so from now on, Thor's armor hath become his prison, and he throws it down. And just because Thor, you remember his bones are very extremely breakable. That should have crushed him even if he is armored, but that's okay. And so look at this. They are like, look at this. Thwack, crunch. So, and these guys are kind of looking at it here, and they're feeling cold because remember they are the frost giants here, and so they're like, bash his head, give me that axe. And now he goes, the walls of flame suddenly begin to burn higher and higher. Yet I feel an icy wind intensifying the moment he thinks. Quickly, you fool, seize your play and follow me. Don't you feel the chill the chill of death in the air? So they're running through. Methinks the creator of the flame returns. Hurry into the ravines and keep your mouth shut. So that, of course, would be Mephisto here. So soon the flame vanishes and the Avengers kind of come to. They get on their ship and leave, but they still have Thor. Of course, they're still talking about it here. So, all right. Meanwhile, Loki is sort of looking here, and he thinks here, this game is still far from over, Clods. You would have slain Loki had not Thor come to my aid. That was in Thor 378. Thus you have left me with a debt to the one being I despise most in all the 9 worlds, my stepbrother, and no reparation can ever recompense me sufficiently for that day. However, I have arranged a suitable entertainment. And so meanwhile, they continue to beat the crap out of Thor. I have brought my prize all the way from the Andes Mountains, and I only hope you enjoy him as much. And so this guy goes from behind and goes, huh? And sees this frost giantess or something here, which is most likely an illusion from Loki. And he's like, oh my gosh. And so he goes through, and suddenly you hear this kapath here. And this guy's in the airplane, says, oh, there's a flash of light back there. Let's go over there and see what's going on. And so when he goes in there, they're like, it's Sigurd, but he's not moving. It looks like he's frozen. Sigurd, what do you think you're doing? And suddenly, and who's that next to him? He wasn't there a second ago. Looks like the armor. Is it Thor? But of course not. And if you remember the cover, then you know that we're going to have the return of the Destroyer. And of course, they're like, crap, because the Destroyer, who by the way was believed to have been destroyed, melted in Thor 300, which I did not cover. And so he's looking at everybody, and he's super powerful here. And they're like, run for it. He cannot catch us all. But you can see the Destroyer is destroying. So you see the Frost Giants kind of running away here. Love the lettering here. And, the Destroyer just destroying everything. And even the people here are like, what the hell? And so they don't even have the cameras here. Like, did anybody get the cameras out of the chopper? So, meanwhile, in Asgard, if you remember, the gods have sort of all been knocked out here. And so the kids with curse were able to kind of get some medicine or a cure. And so the sickness got Balder too, Kev. Everybody's turning to stone, but this bird gave us this vial. If you remember, again, a playlist, these are 2 human children in Asgard whose mother was killed. Looks like water inside. It doesn't smell bad or anything. So what are we supposed to do with it? And so this kid here, I know you haven't said anything so far, mister, but can't you help, mister? So he grabs the head, tilts it so that he can have Balder drink it here. He starts to come to here. And he says, my thanks, little one. The vial contained all that was left from the water of life from the well of Weird. And I have been saved, but the rest of Asgard, the deadly plague that struck us down, and suddenly this guy goes, Mick, look, everybody isn't down. And so they're like, it's Uncle Volstagg. He's okay too. And Volstagg says, purely a matter of opinion, young Mick. I feel as though Thor's goads were galloping through my stomach. And Grunhilde calls him out. You're awake, you're alive, you're all right. Oh, my child, may the High One be blessed forever for having spared you. Who is responsible for this unseemingly outrage? Let him stand forth, that Volstagg the Enormous may smite him where he stands. So the first thing is they think it's cursed, but of course the kids are like, no, he helped us. He brought us here and he made President Balder get better. And Balder says, besides, my vast comrade, he would destroy you in the twinkling of an eye. And Volstagg's like, well, perhaps I was a trifle hasty, but if not he, then who? And Balder says, a different, more devious enemy, I'll warn, Volstagg. And it shall be our task to identify him and see that he does not enjoy the fruits of his evil. And you can see one of the crows there. What interests me is how you and Hildy escaped the worst effects of the plague. The mortal children, I understand. Perhaps the sickness affects only Asgardians. But you and Hildy, I find that very... And suddenly Baldur's going to fall, and Curse grabs him. In the meantime, let us see what we can see from Odin's high seat here. And so he takes him all the way to that, the highest point in Asgard here. Perhaps from, I don't know how you would say that. Things now hidden from our sight will be made clear. Even into your home. I don't know how to say that either. Do you see, Curse? From here, the Allfather was wont to peer into all corners of the 9 worlds. But what's this I spy in Jotunheim? 'Twould appear that our ancient foes, the frost giants, have learned of our misfortunes, and even now Utgard Loki makes plans to profit them. And so, here he is. 'Tis true the Asgardians have been laid low by a plague, not unlike the one I unleashed on Carnilla's realm. That was in the Balder the Brave limited series, which I actually did not cover, and I meant to, and just kind of forgot. So, we may not have yet recovered our full height, but we shall never have a better chance to revenge ourselves on the Asgardians. And with Asgard beneath our heels, we shall reign triumphant in Jotunheim as well. Sound the call to arms. And so, there they go. And so then the other frost giants are here, kind of looking at Thor here. I forgot his name already. Anyway, he thinks here, the god of thunder may shield me from the destructive power of the destroyer. For did Thor not forge his armor himself from Asgardian steel? And did Hela not take from Thor the gift of dying, that he might live forever and suffer? If he cannot die, mayhap even Odin's destroyer cannot slay him, and his body will protect me. So you see the destroyer unleash something and hits Thor. Oh, beautiful sound effects here. And he's like, it worked! Thor's body hath shielded me from the destroyer's deadly force. And you can see that the destroyer shoots at his hand, and then it goes both sides, and you can see it flips around and hits him, and he falls down, and then here comes the destroyer. He lands on top of Thor. Meanwhile, Loki schemes here, and what now, you mindless cretin? And so now he starts to attack Thor. Loki's revenge against the giants is complete. Though Odin's creation was reduced to a pond of slag by the Celestial, he could not be totally unmade. That was again in Thor 300, which I have not covered. Perhaps the proximity of living being was enough to regenerate him. And so Loki is smiling and laughing. Now he will spend the rest of eternity trying to destroy that which cannot be slain. Enjoy yourself, brother. Perhaps I shall return in a few hundred years to see how the two of you are getting on. And leaves laughing while the destroyer tries to destroy Thor. And so he pauses here and then thinks 'Tis beyond belief. I have subjected this body to molecular disruptors, nuclear ripsaws, and antimatter particle beams. I reduced the armor and body to plasma and reconstructed them completely. I can sense that even my ultimate weapon of power of total disintegration will not suffice to snuff out the life of the being who lies before me. Truly, I have discovered that one essential destroyer hath lacked always, an indestructible life force. And he kills that other frost giant that was left. And so, in the past of frailty of my various mortal shells has ever been my undoing, but at last I have found the solution. And so, of course, these guys are sort of narrating here. And so, they're going to keep the cameras recording. Now, we're going to go into the spirit realm. So now Thor has sort of, his soul has come back here. And he's like, at last the day of the destroyer has come. Step forward, warrior, that I may absorb your being completely. Then shall we become one indestructible body fused forever with imperishable spirit, and the destroyer shall never again bend his knee to any living thing. And Thor says, and if I refuse, then you will only cause yourself unnecessary anguish. I like this, that it goes like this, because you would have read this and this and this, so that is pretty cool. Otherwise, you would have gone here and then here, so very, very nice. Very clever. So Thor and the Destroyer start fighting. Again, this is in the spiritual realm, and so you can see here as the two of them fight, and you can see Thor kind of gaining the upper hand and grabs him, and he's like, come my friend, there can be no going back now, and we must return to the real world where lies my broken body and your unmoving shell, and only one of us will emerge from this mystic realm alive. To the strongest belongs the victory. And you can see the Destroyer yells, no. And everybody's looking, and they just see, because again, this fight wasn't in the real world, and suddenly they're like, what happened? And he looks, and so they all just take off. And I love this kind of up and looking up here, and puts his hand on Thor, takes his cape, his whatever those things are called, his belt, grabs the hammer, and look at this, leaving just that alone. Oh, that is so cool. Next, A Journey into Mystery, a special double-sized anniversary celebration for Thor's 300th issue. So polish up your hammer, boys and girls, and get set. This is the issue Thor's been dying for. So now, you're probably going to say, why is that the 300th issue when this was 382? Remember, Journey into Mystery was the title that Thor took over, but Thor didn't appear until Journey into Mystery, Journey into Mystery 300, or I'm sorry, 82 or 83, something like that. So, or 82, yeah. And so this would technically be Thor's 300th issue. So, anyway, yeah, so pretty cool here. So Thor 381 by Walter Simonson and Sal Buscema, with Joe Sanad as his inker. Like and subscribe, and I do thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.